DJI Mavic 4 Pro, more leaks. Got that coming up next. Bill the Drone Reviewer here. Like the content of this video or anything on my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night I hosted Rotor Talk Live and was joined by Mr. Ron Braun. We discussed all the latest regarding the DJI Mavic 4 Pro, including new leaks from Jasper Allens and Igor Bogdanov. So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety.
Did you see your Igor's leak maybe today or last night? That is, to him, it sound what he said makes it sound like a Cine, a Mavic 4 Cine will be coming out alongside the Mavic 4, Mavic 4 Pro. So
Yeah, and I'll
you may
go
have
ahead
more
and bring
than
that up.
one Mavic 4 on open day. Bill, before you move on to another topic, Lauren, Lauren Donner wants me to pass on that Romeo Dersher from DJI has passed away. Romeo's been battling a
Oh,
long illness, and
yeah.
he passed away today. I don't have any more details outside of Lauren letting me know, but he wanted to get it mentioned on the show because he was an important part of DJI for a lot of people in the U.S.
Yeah,
North America.
Romeo was actually on on Rotor Talk Live, probably my
Right,
third season, had him
right,
on, and
right.
what a great ambassador for drones. What a great
Yep,
guy. I
yep,
am just so sorry to hear that. Just
yeah,
absolutely that's crushing news for
yeah.
us.
Thoughts and prayers to Romeo's family and everybody that knows him and loved him and so on. Like I said,
Yeah,
he's a great guy, great for the community.
he really was. He did, and he was one of the best ambassadors for drones worldwide ever. Just absolutely a huge loss for all of us. Okay, here's the Mavic 4 Pro Cine right here, and this is what Igor had posted, and then you can see right here it listed DJI RC. Well, I'm kind of focused on this. I've been down 240 watt possibly charger here. A DJI RC Pro, Mavic 4 Pro Cine, DJI Cellular, and that's probably for over in the EU.
Europeans, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then DJI Mavic 4, and I'm not sure what it means. It's probably batteries, I would think, because that's kind of garbled right there. I'm kind of
Or that
thinking,
could be the regular Mavic 4 and then the Mavic 4 Pro City. So maybe only the City is going to be a Pro. But how about that? If you're right about that charger, 240-watt charger, what kind of battery does the thing have, Bill?
yeah, that's a wow. Wow. My charging brick, okay, literally it's about for my HP 17-inch laptop, it's about this big, all right? It's a
You'll need that for the Mavic 4.
Yeah, that's a monster of a charging brick. Wow. 240 watts. Wow. That's a lot. That's pretty
Watch your electric bill. Watch your electric meter spin when you're charging the Mavic 4 up, huh?
yeah, for sure with that one here. Now, this was Jasper
Hey,
Allen.
before we go on, Casey Crime Fighters made a couple comments, and I think we need to address them. He says, "Bill and Ron, do you all think these new DJI drones are coming to Best Buy?" Well, I don't think so, Casey, because a couple people, Chris Hope saw it, but somebody in Bob Dempsey's Old Fart group posted a picture. You go in DJI, most DJIs have a little sign at the drone counter saying to the effect that DJI drones are no longer available. And it's a
Now,
printed sign that sits at the DJI counter, or the drone counter at Best Buy. So my best guess is none of these drones Bill and I just mentioned will be available at the Best Buy store. Just based off of the last 6 months, maybe a year. In the chat, name me anybody that's bought a Air 3S in a Best Buy or any other recent DJI drone.
yeah, I think you're right, Ron, because I was at Best Buy maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and I walked past there, and there was just a couple of small cases there. They had some of their static models there, but really didn't see, because normally you can see the inventory behind the glass, and you didn't even see any inventory back there. Now, I went online and I took a look. They do offer a number of units refurbished, but it's Geek Squad refurbished. It's not
Right,
DJI
right,
refurbished. So,
right.
and I think personally, and Casey Crime Fighter, what I think's happened with Best Buy, I think they kind of screwed things up because there had been, this is maybe the Mini 3 Pro, I'm not sure. Somebody's able to buy it before the release date, and they shouldn't have. Of course, the DJI Fly app wasn't out, so they couldn't do anything
Yeah.
with, but they were able to buy it. And I think that happened on more than one occasion. And I think DJI just told Best Buy, we're done with you guys, because there's been too many of these instances have happened with this.
I don't doubt you, but that's a pretty tough call for Best Buy. So you're punishing your biggest brick and mortar outlet in the U.S. for forever or for a long time. I mean, that doesn't make sense from a money standpoint.
No,
To
you're
me,
right, Ron. That makes all, what you just said makes a lot of sense. Why would DJI cut off a source of income like that, and a great source of income, especially at a brick and mortar? And for example, for me, I have that Total Tech Care membership, and they add another 30 days for you to be able to return items there. So they have one of the most generous return policies if you're a Total Tech member there, which is, and that's why I buy a lot of stuff online. I don't go to the store, but I buy a lot of stuff online through Best Buy, and it's been fantastic. And because they have that extra 30 days to be able to take something back. And in this instance right here, not being able to purchase these, I mean, that's really kind of cutting
and
off.
Bill, I know you and I like to order things online, but there's still a lot of people they don't buy online. They like to go in a store and actually physically pick it up. So now they've lost those customers. And DJI, you know how they could fix this problem? Best Buy released their drones early. Don't send a pallet of drones in until the day before release.
Yeah, it's real
Well,
simple.
if it's a problem, why send them the drone 2-3 weeks early? Just whatever the day before the release, send a pallet in.
Exactly. I mean, from having worked in
Yeah,
retail for a
yeah.
while, I mean, that makes perfect sense, and it can be arranged like that. Isn't rocket science here. Drop it off. It's coming out on say the 25th. Have them dropped off on the 24th. Real simple.
Yeah,
Real
Don't
simple.
set in a month early and let people start. Again, messing up and putting out in the counter. You set in a day. You set in the day before. Well, doctor probably not going to arrive at 9 a.m. in the morning. If it comes at midday, it'll take a whole day to get the pallet unpacked, checked in, or whatever. Chances of selling one early are slim to none. Then.
Exactly. That makes perfect sense. And Best Buy screwed themselves up. Okay, they really did.
Yeah. Oh, and Steve Janess has a good point. Other people said the same thing. Best Buy in Canada still sells they have the drones in stock in the store. So why are they only punishing the U.S. and not Canada?
Good point. Steve. Thanks for pointing that out. That's a very
Yeah.
good point. Why they're
Yeah.
doing that? Yeah. That's that. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, I see your point, but they're online. But I think DJI sold a ton on their online store, anyways, or whatever. And just as I mentioned before, some people only buy brick and mortar. So now you've lost those sales if you only offer it online.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true,
I
Ron.
mean, no matter how much a company, if you want to sell stuff online, it's still good to have a brick and mortar presence.
Absolutely, Ron is spot on that. Because there are so many people that want to actually go in and physically pick that up. I mean, I did that with one. I think it was a Mini 4, Mini 3. I think I went to the Best Buy and picked it up myself. It was one of the ones that I went into the store and actually got. And I tried to get it the day
Yeah.
before. They were adamant they would not sell it to me. I was there the day before, and they said no. He said I said I showed it's in stock and available. He says, well, it doesn't release till tomorrow. We can't sell it to you then, sir. It's it's the manufacturer's policy. So
Right.
that's
And Bill, I don't know how many stores Best Buy has in the U.S. and Canada, but I mean, one drone leaks early, and they have hundreds, thousands of stores. That percentage is still pretty good. Most managers doing the right thing and not releasing it early. I mean, there's always one fly in the ointment, no matter how good of a system there is.
yeah.
Oh,
So what we have right here now, Jasper Ellens wrote this article for Hey Kesselou and Drone XL, and this is supposedly is the final image of the Mavic 4 Pro. before release right here, and was from a Chinese friend of Jasper Allen's named Yu Yu. Got his hands on what appears to be the final product image of the DJI Mavic 4 Pro. High resolution image of the upcoming DJI drone with dark gray background displays the unreleased DJI Mavic 4 Pro in its final form. Continuing DJI leaks, okay, and there's another picture of it out in the wild here with all kind of stickers on it as well too. New Mavic 4 received all new aerodynamic propeller design. DJI decided to add a little easy release disc on top, also providing better airflow and preventing dust and rain reaching the motors. It's rumored the Mavic 4 will get around 15 minutes of flight time. Hiding behind the left propeller, we now know there might be some form of LiDAR hidden in the left arm, like we revealed previously here on Drone XL. Hiding behind the right propeller, we see the letters Pro appearing in white, confirming the new design is called the Mavic 4 Pro and not the Cine version. Beneath the Hasselblad branded camera, we can see a tiny centered foot below the all-new designed camera. The new aerodynamic design of the M4P forced the designers to add new rubber bumps on all arms and the previously mentioned tiny rubber foot in the center here. What rumors can we expect next? Although there are multiple specifications on Mavic 4 drone have been rumored, I don't really like to give them a lot of attention until we see a leaked official box or some official specs from a DJI representative. I promise to go through them once we can confirm the inevitable upcoming visual proof. Oh, and before I forget, word on the streets is Mavic 4 Pro might be turning heads a lot more than you think is necessary. More on that in my next article here on Drone XL. I'll be back in 2 days, Jasper. So there's more coming out on this, Ron. And one other thing to add to this too, and I know he mentioned it here and I couldn't find it and I wanted to get it up here. He did say sometime in April. He did say a release sometime.
He said April 20th.
Right.
April 20th
Right.
was his date. And we know, Bill, the release isn't close. Once we see the leaks where we see, I'm going to say 90% of the specs, and we even see pricing rumors for various kits, that means we're down to 2 weeks.
Right.
When we see those rumors. Yeah.
Now I imagine in 2 more days here, we're going to start seeing some more. We might start seeing snippets of the pictures of the box, and because it'll progress here. He said 2 days. That means there's going to be something coming in 2 more days, and it's going to be progressing from now on until it actually gets released here. And, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about, and it was in Igor's post where, he's talking about the Cine, but it talked about the RC Pro being there. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I found that interesting. And I don't know. I mean, is this the original RC Pro that came out, most recently, or is this a new upgraded one? I don't know from what that says. I would have to think, Ron, it's going to have to be upgraded because I
mean, there's almost no chance this has the same knocking sync as the Mavic 3 because the Mavic 3 is like, over 2 years old at this point. The Mavic 3 had OcuSync 3, I believe. So a lot of people guess this will have the 3 Plus. It seems like the Mavics always get the Plus.
Right.
And they save the whole upgrade. Like the 4 will come on the Mini 5 Pro and the Air 4, but this will probably be a 3 Plus. And that'll make us have to get new controllers.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of alluding here to, is that there, and people will, and you'll hear the storm afterwards after it comes out and they announce this. You'll hear the storm of people. It's not backwards compatible, so I can't use it with a Mini 4 Pro. I can't use it with an Air 3S. And you're gonna hear a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth about it.
Yeah,
but
and guess what? We can all tell them we told you so. So don't be shocked when this new RC Pro comes out and only works with one drone, the Mavic 4. Bill and I are telling you that right here, right now, right, Bill? You can take that to the bank.
Take it to the bank, and then and we did talk about this earlier, and we've been talking about it too. And I did this last time with the Mavic 3, and I know when Marcus was on and you were on, we talked about pricing last year. And this is something I want people to be prepared, okay? Because there is going to be somewhat of a sticker shock with this, all right? DJI builds great technology. There's no argument, I think, from anyone here in the chat at all. Okay. Their technology is fantastic. It's the best in the world. It's world class, especially for consumer drones. All right. There's nobody's better. All right. But it comes at a price. You're going to have to pay that price. And I think a lot of people, get this incredible sticker shock when they see it and they go, oh my gosh, because I was telling people, you're going to see north of $2,000 for the Mavic 3 last year, which people did. I mean, $2,100 is what was the list price on my Mavic 3 Pro. So be prepared here, okay?
Yeah,
Especially
and really, if you are, sticker shock does bother you, Bill, the Air series and the Mini series have kind of held the line on price increases. So DJI has held the price line at more of their beginner level drones. And Lauren
yeah,
saying, don't forget the tariffs. So, and Bill, the price hike on this isn't surprising too, because by all the pictures you've seen, we've looked like we're getting a bigger drone. This drone is going to be in a size class above our Mavic 3s or our Mavic 2 Pros or whatever. We're getting a bigger drone, a bigger battery, bigger camera. So this really is almost like, what would you call it? Like a muscle drone, muscle car version of a drone. It's really beefed up.
exactly, okay? And when you're getting all the bells and whistles, and let's, just for grins and giggles here, if you're getting a Mavic 4 Pro Fly More combo with an RC Pro, all right, you're gonna have to break open a couple of piggy banks for this. All right,
It's like
it's
when your father went to the Cadillac dealer and got the LTD loaded up or whatever. That bumped the price up.
yep. When you decided to add that leather interior on there and that moonroof and look out, okay, and this is what it is, okay. It's gonna be approaching $3,000 and maybe even a little bit over, especially if you're getting that RC Pro with it. All right, so
Some
don't.
people some people have been ballparking 2,800 for a base kit around. Now I don't know if that has any truth to it all, but that number's been thrown out for a little
That's
while here. 28 for a base
That's
kit.
probably pretty accurate, I would think. And when you're talking like an RC Pro and a Flymore combo with a case and the extra batteries and everything, you could get mid 3,500 or so. I mean, we're just speculating here, but I think the reason that we speculate like this is it's better to shoot high than to shoot low, because if we high and we tell you high, okay, and it comes in, oh, let's say, we're shooting 3,500 and it comes in at 3,200. So that's a good thing. All right. But if we shoot
Mhm.
and say 2,500 and it comes in at 3,000, that's like, no, that's not good. You don't like going up. Down is better. Okay. Up is not. All right.
Mhm.
And that's
Right.
how you have to look at something like this when we make these projections and assumptions based on previous releases and everything that we've kind of seen before. We want you guys to be prepared for this. We don't want you to go, oh my gosh, Bill and Ron said that it was going to be this, and it was no, 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 no. We're
Mhm.
telling you, we're shooting high here. All right. So when it comes in two, three, $400 lower, then okay, that's something that's going to be more palatable. But I mean, palatable is reasonable in terms of your credit card limit. Okay, that's what it's going to end
Yeah.
up being
Yeah.
here. Now,
And Bill's maybe a little controversial to say this, but in the days of say the Mavic 2 Pro or whatever, and I guess even the Mavic 3 somewhat, if you really wanted top of line photography, videography, you kind of really need to get the Mavic series, right, Bill? But now in this age of the Mini 4 Pro and the Air 3S or whatever, you really don't need to go out and spend that 3 grand or better to get yourself a good photography, videography drone anymore. There are the budget options are very good right now. Well,
right
not the budget options, but the lower tier models are take top tier video and pictures now. And I couldn't say that maybe 3, 4 years ago.
exactly like the Air 3S right now. I mean, that's every bit as good as my Mavic 3 Pro. All right, I will stack up that video and compare the videos on them all day long, and it's gonna stack up really well. And there are so many people that I know personally, that are 107s that use an Air 3S and do it for roof inspections, for videography, photography, that type of thing.
Billy
And
Kyle just put out a 6-month review of the Air 3S, and he said he uses it on the majority of his professional jobs.
yep. Yeah, I mean, there's proof positive right there about that. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to add, and I think Michael writes in the chat. I think I did see him here. But one of the things that he said, and I know, he mentioned it to Marcus, and I know Marcus said it a little while back, but I kind of want to bring this up too, is if you're going to go and get a Mavic 4 Pro, you need to go all in. And what I mean by all in is this, okay? You're going to need to get extra batteries with this, extra propellers with this, buy some additional accessories, because we don't know what's going to happen next year, all right, with all of this, okay? We could get cut off at the knees and that be it, but we're still allowed to use our current drones. And if that's the case,
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And then
Hey,
also,
Bill, highlight Lonslay's comment real fast in there. It's like about 4 or 5 comments up.
yep, Lon's right. He's exactly right. And you hit the nail on the head, Lon, because it's the quote unquote sexy thing to talk about, the Mavic 4 Pro. All right, when Lon just mentioned it's 95% of the consumers out there, it's over their head. It's not going to.
Yeah, you don't need the Mavic 4 Pro to take a good photograph. Even a photograph that you want to sell, like if you're doing real estate photography, you don't need a Mavic 4 Pro. I mean, again, I'm not saying not to get it. I'm not saying I won't get it, but it's not an absolute necessity. You got to know why you want that Mavic 4 Pro. I mean, if you have endless amounts of money, Bill, you just get it. But if it's something you have to budget for, you have to figure, what do I need this drone for? Do I really need it? Do I really need to spend this money on it? Again, unless you have endless amounts of funds. But it should be a considered purchase, Bill. By that, I'm saying you should know why you need this drone.
Exactly. That's a great point, Ron, because a lot of people will go out there and say, I'll make an example, okay? For myself, for you, for Marcus, for others, we have channels, and it's part of what we do, and that's part of my built-in cycle is to cycle these drones, and that's what I do. And I'm going to, because my job, and when I go out there, all right, and when I retire, I think I've already told everybody on the channel, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and do a daily flight. And I'm going to pick a drone each day and just go out and do that flight and maybe put some music to it and throw videos out there. Okay. What I basically do, my videos, when you're watching them, even with the unboxing and everything, more of an educational. I want to get people familiar with controls, with settings, with what things look like if I'm shooting at 4K 60 versus 4K 30, what some of the features are, and test those features out. That's what I do on the channel here. Okay. And I know you do that. I know Marcus does that. I know, a lot of other people go out there and do that. For you as a consumer, you need to listen to what Ron has said. Is this something that's going to be a value added for you? Okay. For example, if you're doing wedding photography, videography, is an Air 3S is going to do versus getting a Mavic 4 Pro. You need to consider things like that. You also need to consider things like, having enough batteries on hand as well, too, and ability to charge them. For example, I came out a couple of weeks ago with the Air 3S, and Inspector Air charger that will store them. You can charge them up to 60% for long-term storage. So you would want to look at getting an option like that and having multiple batteries on hand to do that. Because if the mothership cuts the plug, you want to have enough batteries on hand that it's going to last you a while, and it's going to, it's going to extend the life of that drone out. So
of course, if you're really getting that 50-minute flight time, you probably really only need 2 batteries. And the problem is, Bill, you could stock up on a lot of batteries, but they're still kind of on. Even if you keep one in the cupboard, it still may not last any longer than the drones you're using. They're probably going to last less because it's not going through charge cycles.
Exactly. Okay.
So
you bring up a good point. When if you're doing a lot of charge cycles with a battery, okay, it's gonna, every time you use that and every time you do that charge cycle with that battery, it's gonna have a little bit less capacity each time that you do that. And you need to understand that. And so the manufacturers will put out in their specifications. Like when you look out on DJI's website, the number of cycles that a battery is supposedly will be good for. Okay. Now I know they'll probably go out there and bench test these batteries and come up with these numbers so they can give you an estimation on how good this would be. So you need to kind of weigh that in. And this is especially,
and there's no guarantee if you buy that battery and stick it in your drawer for 4 years, that'll be any better off than the batteries you're using all the time.
Exactly. So you kind of need to weigh the pros and the cons of doing this. And I think Michael was, when he did that, that's a good suggestion, Michael. And I think that's fantastic. And you need to understand, if you're a Part 107 and you're doing this professionally, absolutely, this is something you want to do. If you're looking at it from a recreational flying type of standpoint, a hobbyist standpoint, maybe not so much, because you're not probably putting a lot of cycles on these batteries here. So you kind of have to look at it from both ends. But I think also too, buying spare things like spare props is probably a good thing as well too. And maybe looking at some other accessories to have on hand. You don't know. You just don't know with this. So that's kind of where things are right now.
Yeah.
So, I think as I said, I think we're going to see this sooner rather than later. I think this April 20th date, and I think John Flynn put up there
it's a Sunday.
Is a Sunday, but I think it's probably in a ballpark that Monday. That's probably well within the realm of possibility here.
Yeah, and that may be that may be the 20th, maybe China time. So it may be, what I mean. It may be that date in some other country.
Yeah,
these leaks aren't U.S. centric or whatever. So
yes. So,
but still, the money we all know in this country, the DJI drones, almost exclusively for the past 5 years, they're either released on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There's no Monday releases and there's no Friday releases in the last 5 years or so. They've stuck to a pretty consistent pattern of either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Yeah,
they have. It's pretty much Ron's right. Of trying to pin DJI down on some things. That's, I think, something that they've done consistent is these Wednesday, Thursday type of releases. You haven't really seen a lot Monday, Tuesday. They did do some before.
Well, Tuesday's the common day. They released the gimbal on Tuesday, so Tuesday's a common day. But it's no weekends, no Mondays, no Fridays. It's
right.
that middle of the weekdays that
right.
You'll see here in the U.S.
Here, yeah. Ron, that's a good point. So this is kind of where things are right now. And Jasper said, be ready in a couple more days. There's going to be some more information come out, so we'll be able to talk about this next week. I mean,
so get that piggy bank ready, huh, Bill? Yeah,
get your piggy bank ready.
Your drone piggy bank.
Yeah, get that drone piggy bank ready. And I'll say this, because I know I had several people in comments have asked me, I want to buy it, Bill. Should I sell my Mavic 3 Pro right now? That's up to you. Okay. If you can do without it, yes. Okay. That's what I.
If that's your only drone, that's a hard conversation. If it's your only drone.
Right. If it's your only drone, you may want to pull the reins back on that. But if it's not,
if you also have like an Air 3S or whatever, go ahead and get rid of it then.
Exactly. That's exactly how I would approach that. And that's how I've answered some of those questions. I mean, these kind of questions come up, and it's interesting, Ron, because the closer we come to a launch on something like this, the more I get these questions asked of me,
typical. Yeah.
Which is very typical. Question of the day. What did you think of DJI Mavic 4 Pro more leaks? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.